jacket on, packing up, ready to head out.
All right, let's hit the road.
We left home this morning bright and early. It took us about 3 hours or so to get up to the park. We were actually the first people to arrive for backcountry camping this season in Algonquin Park, which is pretty cool.
You know, once we got to the park, we were the first ones here, so it was great to just be able to put everything in the canoe, head out.
We had a short canoe ride to the first portage.
Portage, put everything in the canoe and carried it on the wheels. So the plan is we're going to use a little shortcut, just a little canoe carrier, little portable thing that we're going to be able to put some stuff on here and carry the entire canoe on this, and with a backpack do it all in one trip instead of having to go back and forth and lugging it. So let's see. This thing works great.
You can see here, this is the reason that we're portaging. The river is rapids here, so that's why we have to make a 1 kilometer portage all the way around this.
Perfect. Little rock here. Well, there we go. We just finished that portage, about just over 1K. So here we are at Shirley Lake. This is our home lake that we're gonna camp for a few days. So now we put the rest of the stuff in the canoe and head on up to a good site.
Then we started our canoe on Shirley Lake, which is quite a long lake. We had intended to go to a site way up there, around past that point. But we passed by the one that we're on now, and we thought this one looked amazing. Ramming speed. Woohoo! And this site is beautiful. Lots of space to put our tents. Beach on every side.
Came to a great spot. I mean, it's very remote. There's no one around.
When you arrive at a campsite, there's a few things you've got to get done. Put up your tent. So that's one of the first things I did. Tim set up his tent. You want to gather wood. If you want to have a fire, you're going to need wood. Often there's not a lot of wood around the actual campsite where you're staying, so you'll have to go off and look other places. We've sort of developed a system where Tim will go off, find some wood in the canoe.
I go at least 100 meters away from camp to get stuff that's nowhere near where everyone else is gathered. Whenever I'm going back into the bush, first of all, I have a bear whistle, the compass. I also told my partner where I was going, so he knows. So if something happens, at least he knows where I am.
Tim will go off, bring back large logs in the canoe, and then I'll saw them up once he gets back.
here, set up our tents, sat out, enjoyed a little, relaxed, just having some dinner. Got a chicken. Gonna have some nice dinner. Hear the frogs in the background. It's beautiful.
Today was a great day. Got up in the morning, the sun was shining, it was warm. Still windy. The wind was a little cool, but if you found a sheltered spot, it was great. Then we decided to, after breakfast, go out and canoe to the campsite we were originally going to try to get to. So we just noticed there was a beaten up green canoe on the shore, so we stopped, took a look at that.
What was that, about an hour maybe, canoe ride up into the wind? They're just checking out other sites. We went down through a creek and now we're just exploring. We just found a little spot in the middle of nowhere, so we're just going to go investigate and see what it is.
And followed a path, and it took us into this forestry camp, and then just from there there's a big road. So it's interesting what you find in the bush.
Name an animal that lives both in and out of water.
Turtle.
Number one answer.
Snake. Oh, do I have to give them one? Snake.
No.
We saw one today.
Yep.
Frog.
Number two answer.
Flying fish.
That was good though.
No, but they don't live out of the water.
No, but so there were beaver, seal,
beaver, yeah,
alligator, and duck. Tonight I'm just going to use some lip therapy and some cotton balls and a flint striker. So I'm just going to pour out some and just smush it in and put a flint striker in. That's pretty good. There we go. Simple as that. I'm just having a nice dinner. We were out fishing on the lake today, so I'm having fish and macaroni and cheese. This is gonna be good. Okay, so maybe I lied a little bit. This is the Algonquin tube fish. Not exactly first rate, but it's still delicious.
Tim is nuts. That water is maybe 1 or 2 degrees. It was ice out in the park like 2 days ago. Crazy. So we just cooked breakfast on the fire. I had some English muffins with sliced cheese on it. Tim had his sausages and bagel, and he's just down there washing his dishes at the moment. We're getting ready to go for a canoe ride. We just portaged, relatively easy portage from Shirley Lake to Ryan Lake. And just the view here so far is amazing. We're not even on the lake yet, so I'm looking forward to it. So Tim is fishing, and in order to film him fishing, I'm sitting backwards in the canoe, and for more stability, I sat on the bottom of the canoe. Now I have a wet ass. The price of filmmaking. Was there something?
Yeah, tough to tell. I just felt a little something, but might just be a little weed too.
A weed or a fish?
That's a fish.
Don't
got the fish on.
Don't hit me with it. Big enough?
Well, could get a good meal out of that. Oh, that's a nice lake. I mean, they stock it with splake, and we were in there maybe an hour and a half at the most, and I caught a few and kept one. It's a good spot.
We just got back from canoeing up to Ryan Lake. Tim caught a fish, good for him. And boy, I'm tuckered out. So hey, I'm here camping. It's a time when you relax, so I'm gonna have a little afternoon nap in my tent. It's a great view out of my tent, by the way.
Wow. That worked easily. Makes the little fish better. One. Oh. Perfect. Oh.
Okay, good morning. It is our last day here. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I've been up earlier, and it's quite nice out. It's warm. It's windy. I think the wind is against us on our trip home. But what we're going to do is pack up, have a little bit of breakfast, and then get in the canoe and head home. As is often the case when you're camping, weather doesn't always cooperate. It's the morning that we're leaving, and every now and then there's been a light bit of rain, so I want to get this tent packed up before it rains. It's nothing worse than packing up a wet tent, because then you got to take it out and dry it out when you get home. So we're going to pack up quick and get ready to go, and hopefully won't get wet on the way out. So now comes the sad part. At the end of every trip, you look around and you see everything gone. And as much as you may have been thinking about having pizza on the way home, it's always sad to leave on the day that you leave.
go. I mean, why I do this is just because it is so different than regular camping. For instance, when you drive your car to a campsite and open your trunk and you're there and 65 other people have their cars out and tents right there and music's going everywhere, that just doesn't do it for me anymore. Once you get out here and you can still have the same camping comforts but be by yourself. I mean, look around. If you look across the lake, there are no other campsites anywhere over there. You look down the lake this way. The next nearest campsite to us is maybe a 15-minute canoe paddle down that way. This way, the next site to us is, I'm guessing, maybe half an hour paddle way up that way. So you're remote. All you hear are the birds, the water lapping. I mean, it's great to be out just into nature and just enjoy the peace and quiet.
And we're back. It's been a great weekend. The best weather we've had. It's the first time I think the weather forecast has actually done what it said it would do. And it's just been great.